In preparation for this video, I spent hours trying to learn Sumerian and Cuneiform, although I ended up crying in the shower listening to sad music. Instead, I'll just give an overview over the language and its unique features. Sumerian is an interesting language, as it is considered the oldest attested language dating back to 2900 BCE. Written in cuneiform, it was a language isolate, meaning it had no relation to any other languages in its time period and its area. The origin of the Sumerians is debated, although most scholars suggest that the Sumerians were native to southern Mesopotamia. This is based on the continuity between their pottery and prehistoric pottery in the region. Now, Sumerian as a spoken language peaked between 3000 and 2000 BC, although it was gradually replaced by Akkadian after 2000 BC. Sumerian died out as a spoken language, although it persisted as a sacred language and it heavily influenced Akkadian vocabulary and grammar. So we don't exactly know when the Sumerian language went extinct, although there are theories. Sumerian and Akkadian were both written in cuneiform, and their survival was linked to the survival of scribal schools in Babylonian temples. So as long as the temples were being used, the scribes and the priests would have to read cuneiform. This being said, Sumerian, and by default Akkadian, would have lasted as written languages sometime around the 1st and 2nd centuries AD, whenever the final Babylonian temples shut down. Let's take a look at some basic Sumerian grammar. So Sumerian is a highly inflected and grammatically complex language. It follows the SOV word order, subject, object, verb. So for example, in the Sumerian sentence, to say the king built a house, it would actually be the king a house built. Lugale e indu. Interestingly, for nouns, it doesn't have a gender, but rather distinctions between animate and non-animate objects, or human and non-human. So for example, lu, man, would be animate, but kur, mountain, would be inanimate or non-human. There are occasional deviations, such as the word for statue, alan, which is considered animate. Noun cases and verb conjugations are quite complex in Sumerian. The language has about 10 noun cases, which are added as endings to the nouns. In addition, the verbs can be quite complex and consist of suffixes, prefixes, and different moods and agreements. But what makes Sumerian really hard isn't its grammar or its unfamiliar roots, since it's a language isolate. It's the cuneiform script, which consists of almost 1,000 wedge-based symbols. Each symbol or word then is equivalent to a certain arrangement of the wedges. So to read text in Sumerian, you will need to know at least 500 symbols, which are different arrangements of wedges. Its complexity is probably what kept literacy and upper-class privilege throughout Mesopotamian history. Mastering cuneiform required years of education in scribal schools. Let's go ahead and take a look at a sample text in ancient Sumerian. This is a praise poem to the king Hammurabi. Enki eshe ki macha mizid munindug lugalelu shuluche ki aj mesikila tuma lugal jishkhur kalkal galzu nituku inim sagsage shunishe galla sipad shagshega and nunanmira ki aj amanin lila. If you would like to learn more about Sumerian or any other ancient language, please leave a comment below and subscribe.